Many people have always been fascinated by and horrified by the evil side of humanity. It's hard to fathom what motivates somebody to carry out horrific acts of violence and cruelty against other people. No exception can be made for the tale of Piet Costa and Robin van O, two Dutchmen who planned a string of abductions and torture in specially made shipping containers. The dark world of these two criminals and the notorious torture chambers are explored in depth in this essay. A suspicious partnership. Piet Costa and Robin van O joined together to commit unspeakable brutality. Both individuals had a history in the criminal underworld. Van O was a small-time crook, while Costa was a well-known drug dealer. With their paths crossed, they discovered they had a similar interest in savagery and brutality. It was because of this twisted kinship that their iconic torture vessels were made. The abductions. Targeting members of competing criminal gangs, a number of kidnappings occurred in the Netherlands during 2020 and 2021. These kidnappings were expertly planned and chillingly carried out. The victims were seduced into believing they were safe before being drugged and kidnapped. Law enforcement was perplexed as the kidnappers eluded them and the public was afraid. The finding. After receiving a tip, Dutch police raided a warehouse in the sleepy village of Wolves at Plantage in June 2021, putting an abrupt end to the kidnappings. They found a horrifying scene inside: 7 altered shipping containers, each with a tiny, soundproof cell that had been converted into a torture room. A terrifying assortment of instruments and devices were installed in these containers in order to cause their unlucky victims the most pain and suffering possible. Each container had been altered to produce a distinctive form of torment. In one, the victim was exposed to intense heat through a liner made of heat-resistant foil, while in other, ice water was piped in to create a freezing environment. Others were equipped with instruments for physical injury and restraint methods, while still others had a sound system installed to blast disturbing and disorienting noises at the captive. A makeshift dental chair with straps and restraints, as well as a terrifying collection of instruments for torture and mutilation, were also found by the authorities. These featured blowtorches, drills, saws, pliers, and scalpels. There was no question that these rooms had been built to subject their victims to unfathomable torment. The sufferers. Despite the fact that a number of victims were kidnapped, it's possible that Van O and Costa's crimes may never be fully known. One individual, who had been held captive for several days, was eventually freed by the police, and his evidence was crucial in developing a case against the two perpetrators. His terrifying description of what happened to him gave us a terrifying glimpse into Van O and Costa's wicked minds. The case. One of the most frightening and high-profile criminal trials in Dutch history took place in 2022, involving Robin van O and Piet Costa. The court heard in detail about the horrible conditions in the containers and the brutal torture performed upon the victims during the presentation of the evidence, which was nauseating. The prosecution developed a compelling case by highlighting the degree of forethought and preparation that had gone into the abductions and the creation of the torture rooms. In contrast, the defense made an effort to claim that the containers had been constructed as part of a business endeavor and that the torture tools had been created for use in pretended escape room scenarios. Given the sheer severity of the devices discovered and the nature of the victims' injuries, the court and the public reacted skeptically to this reasoning. Van O and Costa's lack of remorse for their actions during the trial furthered their reputation as cruel and cold-hearted people. A variety of evidence was presented before the jury, including CCTV footage of the abductions, graphic images of the torture chambers, and horrific testimonials from the victims who survived their ordeal. The judgment and sentence. The jury found Piet Costa and Robin van O guilty of many counts of kidnapping, torture, and conspiring to commit murder after a long and dramatic trial. They committed some of the most depraved and horrifying acts ever perpetrated in this country, the judge said in passing judgment. Piet Costa was given a life sentence with a minimum of 40 years, while Robin van O was given a life sentence with no chance of release. Additionally, both men were mandated to compensate their victims with hefty damages. The consequences. People struggle to comprehend the depths of human evil on show as the case of the torture containers reverberated throughout the Netherlands and the rest of the world. Van O and Costa's trial and subsequent conviction sparked a public discussion about the nature of evil and the reasons behind such horrible deeds. It was made certain that no further agony could occur inside the walls of the torture chambers by dismantling and destroying the actual containers. The warehouse where they had been discovered was also demolished, and it was decided to build a memorial garden there in their honor and as a sign of healing and hope for the neighborhood. Thanks for watching this video till the end. See you in our next video.